Okay. All right. Back row, do you want to come to the front row?
What?
Sit in the front row and pay attention. Okay, here we go. So we have factors. We were removing common factors on Wednesday. Common factors are factors that are in common with every single term. And factors are things that do what? Multiply together to come back to the original, right? Factors of 6 are 3 and 2 because 3 times 2 is 6. Factors of 24 are 6 and 4, 8 and 3, 12 and 2, 24 and 1. Okay, so we have an idea of what factors are, correct? And so last lesson we were talking about, I'll just write it up here so you have an idea. Yep. We talked about like 6x squared y minus 18xy, and I told you to remove the common factor. And you told me that I could factor that by removing or dividing out, actually kind of dividing at the same time. Dividing and multiplication go together, right? What would the common factor be?
3 and 2. Right?
So tell me what the common factor is. 6, yes, that's what. Okay, and then what else could you remove at the same time? X, anything else? And a y, and then you put a bracket down to show that we were multiplying, and you would tell me everything that was left inside the bracket to get back to the original, which would be x minus 3. Anything else? Okay, and everything we have there, we'll multiply to get back to what we had originally. Yeah? Okay, it's the same thing as what we're going to do today. But you have to stay with me on this. We're going to rip out some hearts here. Okay? Hopefully it won't be too much blood. All right. Ready? Here's my example. Before we get to the lesson, it's going to freak y'all out. I want you to notice this. Okay, here. 6 heart minus 18 heart. What is common?
Heart
16 and a heart. I don't know what the heart is. It's a lump. Sorry, I meant 6. There's a 6 and there's a heart that is common to both, correct? So I could divide out the 6 and the heart, and what I would have left is 1. Don't forget the 1 minus 3. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Yeah, it's just 2. Okay, forget that. Okay, what if I had
Smiley face.
2 smiley faces? Subtract smiley face, grumpy face. Okay. What's in common?
Smiley face.
Smiley face. We don't really care what the smiley face is. It's just common to both, right? So you would factor out the smiley face, and what you would have left would be 2 minus grumpy face. Okay, you picking this up yet? It could be 4 blobs minus x blobs, and the part that you have common is a blob. So when you remove the blob, you would multiply it by 4 minus x. You on it? I don't care what that stuff is. If it's common to both, you can remove it like we always do. All right. So take that. Go down here to here. Don't trip out. Stay there. Okay, we have 4x bracket x plus 7. Then we have minus 3. You're about to miss the point. And then we have bracket x plus 7. What's common? Bracket x plus 7. I said it twice. So I'm going to think of this as being the heart. And I'm going to rip out the heart and times him by the things he needs to be multiplied by, which was the 4x and the minus 3. However, the heart was actually x plus 7. Anybody saying, what incarnation did we just do? Okay, let's do part B. What's common in part B? What do you see repeated? It's twice. Yes? 3 minus 2y. So this is like your heart. It's like your blob. This is your smiley face. It's repeated twice. The same heart is multiplied by, hold on, 7 and 2y. Okay. Letter C. I got a smiley face there. You see it? There it is. Here's your smiley face. It just makes you smile just looking at it. Okay? All right? Smiley face is there. He's multiplied by 9a. So I'm going to take him out, put him there, multiply him by 9a, and then what? Plus 1. Don't forget him again. He's got to happen again. Okay, but really it's 4a plus 1. Now I just want to prove to you this is true. Okay, so I want you to look at this last example for a second. You remove the smiley common things. And I would like that row of boys to multiply and expand the first row. Okay, right here. Take this original row. And I would like you guys on a piece of scrap paper or somewhere on the side of your head or whatever, multiply that together and expand it. There's not very much multiplication. I want the girls to multiply out the 4a plus 1 times the 9a plus 1 and see what you get. Go. These are the boys. Expand that and tell me what you're going to get. The girls are going to multiply this out. Okay, do we have an answer, boys? Yes? Okay, Micah, what's your final answer?
28a squared plus 13a plus 1.
Did you do 9 times 4?
That's 36.
Okay, it's all right. Okay, that's what the boys get. Does anybody confirm that number? Yes? You do? Okay, what did the girls get?
36a squared plus 13a plus 1.
Okay, so here's the deal. You will know your answer is right in the factored form. This is factored. 2 pieces that multiply together to get back to the original. Yes? It will be, you will know your answer is right if when you multiply this out and you expand this out, you get the same answer. You with me? They're equivalent. Now, how did the boys do this? The only multiplication taking place is right there. Listening to me? Boys, the only place you had to multiply was right here. Then you just combined things together, correct? The girls had to multiply first term times everything, second term times everything, a little bit longer process. Yes? That is always true. So, go to class example number 2. What do you notice that is in common? 3y plus 2. We're going to rip it out. It was multiplied right here. So I have to keep multiplying it. It was multiplied by 5y plus 1. And then it was also multiplied right here. So I need to put plus 4y's in here. Now that 3y plus 2, right here, will get multiplied by those things and the 4y. Do you see it? Yes. Now we're not done. But do you understand that first step? Do you see how 3y plus 2 was multiplied in the first step by that 5y plus 1? And it was also multiplied by 4y. Do you see how that happened in the first go-round? Okay, So now, but I can do this a little bit better. I can write this a little bit nicer, so I'm going to. So this will become 3y plus 2, but this bracket, I will put together anything that can be combined in the same bracket. So the 5y and the 4y can become 9y plus 1. Okay? Now, if you didn't know you were right, you can multiply out the bottom line, and then you could do the multiplication and addition in the top line, and you should end up with the same thing. Get it? Okay, letter B, go. What are you going to do? Rip out the heart. So the heart is the a minus 6, and I'm going to write down everything that I need to multiply it by. A minus 6, this bracket got multiplied by 3a, so put down 3a. It also got multiplied by the minus 9 right there, so put a minus 9 down. Okay, so it looks pretty good. Is that line I just wrote down exactly the same as the line before it? Am I multiplying the 3a by the same stuff I was before? And then multiplying the negative 9 by the same stuff I was before. Okay, so we're good. Now there's only one more step. Because you are never done until you have factored fully. And to factor fully means just like you're reducing a fraction, you break it up into as many pieces as you possibly can. Check out the second bracket. Can you factor further? What do you notice, Mackenzie? There's a 3. There's a common factor in the second bracket. So until you have left everything with nothing common, you haven't factored fully. So we're going to write down the a minus 6, leave him alone. But see this, there's a 3, there's a common factor in that second bracket. Remove it. Leave yourself what's left. There. Now, I can see all the factors. The 3 is multiplied. So I'll put little brackets around him if you want to. I have now factored fully. Please do not leave marks in your test because you didn't go all the way in math. Okay? Get it? Got it? All right. Now, mostly I would put the little 3 in the very front. Because multiplication doesn't matter where you put it, so put it in the front so it just looks better. Yeah?
So we don't have to factorize the first bracket at all?
Well, is there anything inside the first bracket that would be common? There's nothing to do with that. Because yes, you would. If you could, you would. But you can't, so you won't. So you're done. Okay. Oh, mercy. Just when you think you got it, I throw a few like, well, what if? What if they're not exactly the same? Can I remove the heart? Can I divide out the heart if they're not exactly the same? And the answer is no, you can't. They must be exactly the same. It has to be a common factor. But what if it's almost the same? What if it's just backwards? Okay. The only way you can remove a common factor is if it actually is the exact same thing, but could I rewrite it? So here, the x is positive, and in this bracket, the x is negative. And vice versa with the 5. The 5 is negative, the 5 is positive. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right. So I gotta take a little side trip over here. Take a little trip with me. What is negative 1 times x plus 5? Correct. That's not what I wanted. Hold on. What is negative 1 times 5 minus x?
Negative 5 minus 6.
Is that the same as this? So you're like, if I was to divide out a negative of this, I could get something that kind of looked like that. Can't 5 minus x be written like x minus 5 if I compensate with a negative 1? Okay, hold on. Watch this. You ready? Wait a minute. Is that the same? The x will become negative and the 5 will become positive. You with me? It's the same. Right? Okay, let me do one more. What if you have one, well, we'll do it up here, okay? So now you have a common factor, you see it? X minus 5. I'll show you again. I think you'll believe me when we're done. I'm going to remove the x minus 5, and what I'm going to have left is a 2x. And then I have this negative 1 and this 5. They're being multiplied together. So I'm going to put a minus 5 instead. Do you think that's the same as the line above it? I can prove it to you. It is. Will you get 2x squared out of the deal? Yep. Minus 10x? Yep. Minus 5x? Yep. Plus 5? Yep. They're all there. All the same terms that were above are now there. Do you see them? Or are you not really believing me? When I multiply this out like this, I'm going to get a 2x squared, a minus 10x, and then I'll get a plus 25, sorry, 25 and a minus 5x, right? Huh?
What time is it? I'm so lost. I believe that it works. I just don't know how to get there. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. How did the
I just
how did you get to
the
the
negative 1?
The negative one is
The negative one underneath the 5 multiplied the understanding.
Why is it
Yeah.
negative 5
Yeah, why
inside
is
the
it-
second bracket?
Because
Because
the 5
negative
and the
one.
negative 1.
and since those multiply, those cancel out, and
Oh.
so the 2x just is carried on.
Okay, how about I give you the what to do, then I'll explain it one more time. If you ever get to a bracket and they're exactly backwards, so the x has the opposite sign and the 5 has the opposite sign. If you want them to be the same direction, turn it around, make it the same direction, just compensate with a negative. Okay, that's what you do. Yeah, no,
How am I supposed to know where to put the negative?
Okay, so let me show you one more example and then we'll go back and we'll try again. Okay, see this x minus 3? This is completely backwards. See it? 3 minus x. Okay, hold on. Hold on, just be patient for a minute. So I'm going to rewrite that. I want this, it has to be equivalent. I'm going to copy, copy, copy. Okay, copying the first. Copy, copy. Okay, now the 3 minus x, I need it to be the other way around. So I'm going to write it the other way around. But I just can't change it because I don't like it to be one way. But what if I multiply it with a negative 1? Now, are these two brackets together equivalent to that one?
Yes.
Is the x negative? Is the 3 positive? Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I saw that jump. What do you suppose that negative 1 is going to do to that 4? It's going to change it, so I'll write it one more time. 20x, x minus 3. This is going to become a plus 4, and this is still in brackets. Trippy, huh? So what did I actually end up doing? Well, I took the 3 minus x, I turned it around, as you can. If you compensate with a negative 1, that makes that a positive.
Okay.
I'm going to do it again over here just one more time so you get it. Okay, right here. 5 minus x, x minus 5. They're not exactly the same. Just a minute, look. Okay, so I'm going to copy this down. I'm going to copy, but I need to write something that looks kind of like that. It just looks different. So I'm going to put a minus 1 here. I'm gonna turn this around and make it look like this. Now, have I actually changed anything? Well, you're like, yeah, you put a -1 there. But when I multiply that -1 in, will I still have a negative x? Yes. Will I still get a +5? Yes, so I really haven't changed anything. I just made it look different. So now I have a common factor that I can remove, divide out. So I'm going to remove that common factor of the x minus 5. Rip out the heart. The x minus 5 here got multiplied by 2x. So I better multiply it by 2x. And over here, the x minus 5 got multiplied by 5 and a -1. So I'm going to put a -5 right there. Okay.
I would have done it.
Okay, we'll get it. All right, I'll explain it to you again. Let's go on. Ready? What if there's 4 terms? You stand up to wake up. Everything. Okay, now Logan, go back. Go ahead.
Okay, so can you do that for the first term too? Like for 2x, can you put time multiplied by -1?
Like, does it matter which term the -1 is on?
The -1 has to be right in front of the bracket you're changing.
So it doesn't matter which bracket we change.
Right. You mean could you have done this one instead? Absolutely. Yep. Yep, you could have. You can change either one you want. Okay. I won't go into what happens if you do. Okay. What if there's not 3 terms? What if there's 4 terms? What if I have a number of terms? You know what you can do? You are allowed to just take out common factor of the first 2 terms. So don't go ahead now. Don't go to work on me. Don't miss this. Go back. What if you say, oh, Mrs. Sewell, I only have some like terms in the first 2. Or maybe I see a common factor, but it's only, see, look at this. Do you see something common there? Do you see something common here? Watch what happens if you just do 2 at a time. Take out what's common here. Problem is I gotta keep adding here, so I have to put the plus sign down. Look what's common here. Oh my word. Look what just happened. Cool deal. Guess what you got? Ripping out the heart opportunity. Go do surgery. I know. It's fabulous. You're like, what? What just happened there? I did 2 at a time. Now, when you do 2 at a time, you can't forget that really they're being added together right now at this moment. But guess what's going to happen? It just like magically transforms into ripping out the heart, and it becomes actually a multiplication statement. But do you see in your multiplication statement all the terms that are in the very first line? Can you do the expansion that we were doing last block or last chapter? See the x squared is going to come out? See where the 6x happens? The 3x and the 18. See it all? All the terms are there. So amazing. Okay. I'm quite proud because I had a Japanese student and usually their math is way above where we are in high school. And she brought me this question lots of times. I think she was your exchange student actually, maybe. No, they didn't come here, did they? Really? Can't remember. Anyway, one of them was here, and I was like, but she brought me a question like this. I said, we can factor by grouping. And I was able to help her. It was really fun. Okay. Mostly I was like, I have no clue what you're doing. Okay, look at this. See a common term? Do you?
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, remove the common term. It's a 2x. Leave yourself what's left. 4x minus 1. Don't forget the 1. Put down the plus sign because we're at this moment, we're still just trying to figure out what we're going to do. We have 12x minus 3. What's your common factor? A 3. And what do you have left?
4x.
4x minus 1. Oh, imagine that. What's your common term? What's your common term? 4x minus 1, rip it out. Write down what you had to multiply by. Done like dinner. Okay. We should do some hard ones.
No, can we just
Okay,
go to work?
C. You just want to go to work?
Yeah.
I have to show you one more thing. What's common here? 4 and an A. About, what do you have left? Ooh, write the minus sign down. Now, here's where people make a mistake. You write the sign down in between. You see what's common to 5. Then you go to A. Now, right here. Most people go +1 and they quit. Like, no, that is not a +1. What sign should it be? So you would give back the original. -1. So that's a little quick trick. Don't forget it's a -1. Plus, you know it's not a positive one. You wouldn't have a common term and then that would work. Okay, you can do that one. Okay, what about, let me see. Here, let's go to F. Okay, last one, and I'll let you go to work. Okay, you look at the 5 and the 18, you say, I have nothing in common. You look at the 15 and the 6, and you say, well, I do over there, but I don't in the beginning. So here's something you can do. There is nothing that says you have to keep it in this order. What about if we put 5x squared minus 15xy squared, keeping all the signs where you need them, plus 18y squared minus 6x. Would that be better? Would you rather have it that way? Yes. Feel free to rearrange if it works better for you. There's more than one way to rearrange it. There's no right, like it doesn't have to be right or wrong. And now you can remove the common factor, which is a 5 and an x. Put your plus sign down, remove the 6, and you'll have, oh, Nelly. What do you see just happened? It's backwards. But it's okay if it's backwards. You know the quick thing what to do. What do you do? Flip it around, change the sign. That's all you really have to do. Flip it around and compensate. You can flip if you compensate with a negative sign. So all we have to do is go like this. And now you're golden. Life is gold. Okay? Now you remove the common term. Oops. Okay? So if it's backwards, you're going to flip it around if you compensate with a negative. Okay, I'm going to quit. That's a long lesson.